You're listening to The Burning Truth.
Yeah, the news just keeps coming in the wrestling world at the moment, and yeah, we've got a lot to cover this week. Oh, just a quick thing. I know I'm dropping this on you because I forgot to mention it before we started, but the race has literally just finished. So can I just say, he may have finished second or possibly third. I didn't even see the last lap because I was in here prepping for this, in the United States Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas, but that was enough, regardless of the fact that Valtteri Bottas won the race, for Lewis Hamilton to now officially be a 6-time Formula One world champion. So congratulations, Lewis Hamilton, because that, in whatever sport, is a phenomenal achievement. Well, we will. We'll say one sentence. Congratulations, South Africa. Yeah, deserved winners, to be honest. No sour grapes here. What, in the World Cup? About this, I know nothing. However, yeah, just have a look at it on your internet search engine of choice after you've listened to us if you want to know more. But we'll just say congratulations, South Africa. Commiserations, England. But at the end of the day, the best team won. And congratulations, Lewis Hamilton. Now, 6-time champ, just like Booker T. He did win one WWE championship as well. Or was it? Well, no, I think it was World Heavyweight. But anyway, we digress massively. Oh, yes, we do. Essentially, yeah, we're going to try and keep it concise and try and keep the language warnings and the soapboxes to a minimum and just cover what happened as much as possible. We're not saying it's going to be completely soapbox free, but we're going to do our best. Did you want me to do my Sky Sports voice again? The following is a post-watershed production and may contain scenes and storylines unsuitable for some viewers. It may also contain language unsuitable for younger viewers and may also contain strobe lighting effects. I just love adding that because it's a great gag. We're on the radio. Who gives a monkeys about lighting? Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. It's audio. There are no strobe lights. It's just a gag. But anyway, yeah. Strong language and content warning, because WWE seem to be going that way. They seem to be tiptoeing quietly, and in the case of Bray Wyatt, running away screaming from the TV PG rating and sort of going a bit more adult. So we kind of have to follow suit. These are the views of whoever says them and whoever says them alone. They're not necessarily the views of anyone else unless we say we're directly quoting and we found a source that we know to be valid. Otherwise, it's just us stating our opinions, and we're not trying to claim for 1 second that they're facts. It's a minefield, and we don't want to tread on one, frankly. So essentially, should be pointed out from the start. If we mention like something with the citation, like it's from someone, then we will have double checked that the source is as reliable as it can be. Although we acknowledge even that is not bulletproof. But if we don't mention a source or anything like that, then chances are it's just our opinion. And hey, we're just a little show that talks about wrestling. So don't take us too seriously. In a polite, informed, helpful way that can inform debate rather than just shouting us down. Get on our social media and let us know, because exactly. And I don't know about you, Matt Burns, because due to the wonders of technology, we are of course broadcasting from different places. But sat here in my golden throne atop my ivory tower, I don't want to feel above the people at all. We are part of the people. Joke. That was a joke. That was just a testing of the waters, okay? That was a joke. I'm in my spare bedroom in rural East Anglia and I am nothing special. And we don't claim to be. We're just a couple of guys that like wrestling and have a platform to talk about it, which we make the most of. Oh, and the other one used to be a wrestler and is now said wrestling company's commentator. So, we have vested interests. You want me to get back into it? Book me. No one else will. Yeah. Okay. That is a refreshing change. Matt Burns. Ah, I see. Yes, it is. Yeah, we have some. Well, I'm sorry if this sounds self congratulatory, but if we can't do it now, then when can we? Good news regarding the burning truth. Well done, you, and very, 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 repeat for 20 minutes, very belatedly, me. 5 whole years. Wow, that's quite a landmark. Well, I was gonna say, in its current incarnation as the Burning Truth, 5 years on Friday. That's what we're focusing on. Hmm. I don't think you do when you do a broadcast such as this. You just sort of think, well, I don't know where I'll be in 2 years. Never mind 5 years. Things might be different, but it's we're still here, and there's still plenty for us to talk about. Oh, sorry. Carry on. 5 years, yeah, during which I have been an intermittent part, but I've enjoyed every second of, let me just say. Yeah, yeah. Essen- yeah, essentially, you are the burning truth. And so if anyone gets the metaphorical pat on the back that the show gets, then it should be you, really. No? Okay. So I was going to say, continually giving us things to talk about. Yeah, you can't fault it for that. Indeed, it's quite true. We rely on each other. The product needs us, and we need the product to have something to talk about. I believe the technical term is a symbiotic relationship. We are, yes. Just a little, well, sort of congratulatory pat on the back in audio form, a sort of recognition of the fact that we've been here for 5 years and we're still going. Well, yeah, it's patting ourselves on the back, but it's mainly a thank you to everyone that's, well, yeah, enabled this to keep going, really. Absolutely. On the special show, and if I remember, I'll actually probably get a Mick Foley reference joke in there. If I actually get in ahead of you about the dozens and dozens of fans worldwide, which is the actual day of the fifth anniversary, so it seems appropriate. Which was held where? Oh, nice venue. I've been there in the past. Oh, you haven't told me this before. That you said you were there. You've only told me as an audience member so far. Hmm. So, without further ado, what happened? Did something a little bit silly and ill thought out, and one of the things you just don't do? It certainly isn't. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter how much beer you think you've had, and how skewed as a result your perspectives might be. That is a stupid thing to do. Anyone who's listening to this, in the strongest possible terms, don't do it. Yes, because if it was it an actual glass pint glass or was it a plastic one? Yeah, because obviously, had that broken, that's show over. Good night while we clean the ring for an hour. Uh, but even with that in mind, I can't state strongly enough. I hope that the um, person responsible, I'll be restrained here, was immediately shown the error of their ways and removed from the show. Yeah, no scene. Well, no unnecessary scene. Just politely and respectably, I would imagine, tidying up and politely but firmly asking the perpetrator to kindly never darken their door again. Aside from that horrible, potentially show ruining moment, which by all accounts luckily didn't, the rest of the show was epic, was it? I was going to say, before plug aside, plug for them aside, plug for their product. Are they on Turnbuckle TV by any chance? Ah, I see. Well, that's perfect then. That's awesome. But so, what you're basically saying, to sum up, is an epic show, almost, but actually not ruined by the actions of one idiot, which, though they could have derailed the show and had a very negative impact due to the brilliance of the staff, didn't. Oh, well, that's good to know because, yeah, um, the world's got enough people that make questionable decisions in it. We don't need them at wrestling shows. It's a form of escapism. You go to them to get away from that sort of thing. So I don't condone that at all. That's fine. Ah, that's wonderful. So, for everyone that was there, then they still were able to have a good show, were they? That's good to know. Absolutely. Yeah. You don't want to take away from the fact that it was an epic show, and so that's good. If you like pro wrestling, then there you go. You need to check them out. So get on that their internet and them their search engines and type in pro wrestling for you to find their streaming service if they're not on the awesome pro wrestling hub that is Turnbuckle TV. I couldn't think of the name for a second there. So, well, I'd say give it a week or so, but as soon as the show's up, watch it. Ah, awesome. Awesome. We've got the fallout from Crown Jewel as well. Yeah. It's quite a lot to get through. Yes. Oh, right. Yes. Did I win the predictions? The pennies just dropped as to what you meant there. Ooh, isn't that marvelous? Wasn't so much that in the sort of more a case of I don't think I ever win because I usually go with heart over head, and as a result, I usually get most of them wrong because WWE likes to take what you think might happen and then generally try and do the opposite as much as it possibly can to try and throw you off balance. So the fact that I actually got these, it makes a nice change. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Are we going to go through the results? Like, just are we going through the matches? Okay, just bear with me a second. I will just make use of the internet to get the list up. Yes, list the result up from. Um, hold on. I'll go with the first. I didn't know you could. Oh, I did use the network to watch it. Yes, of course I did. Crown Jewel results WWE. I'll go with the official company website because that's the first thing that came up on the search engine. Yep, definitely. Yes. Yeah, I don't think anyone saw it coming. Well, I think a certain number of people who probably derisively use the term smart to describe themselves might have guessed, but the majority of us, yeah, we wouldn't have known. Yep, Humberto Correa. Yes, yes, yes. And this ever so slightly after. Did you hear a dull thud in the background just then? That was Drake Maverick landing from where Eric Rowan threw him out of the ring. And he, just newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, he's in East Anglia. He's a bit bewildered, and he's got snow on him. We'll move on to that later on. Yes, Air Styles. No, he was in the AJ. He was in the US title match. Yes, something those of us who watch Tour 5 Live and NXT have known for a while, but yeah, now everyone knows. Yes. Oh, no, we should just mention as well one of the Singh brothers was the 24/7 champion, lost it back to R-Truth, and now the other one is. And that's all we need to say about that, really. Uh, Now, this to me felt like the whole match lasted about 2-3 minutes. I'm sure it was longer, but well, yeah. Yes. Hang on. By external source, do you mean very angry luchador with a steel chair? Oh, so basically, The match was short because Velasquez needs surgery, and that was about the most he could get away with. That's unfortunate, but, well, to be honest, we'd rather he played it safe and had the surgery and came back stronger. So no complaints from us there. Oh yeah, absolutely. He doesn't get paid by the hour, but he's certainly interesting. You can't argue that with Lesnar. And so, still your WWE champion, Bork Laser. That's the devil, which was cool. Yeah. Well, the thing is, he probably did, but it was done in order to set up the potential future angle between Mysterio and Lesnar, which obviously we will discuss it at a later date. But in light of the potential injury, oh, I see. Okay, yeah. But in light of Velasquez's injury, that may need to be brought forward slightly. So WWE was essentially just covering its back there. Yep. Right now, have you got the blow by blow of what actually happened, or have you just got the bare fact of who won? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I was after because I have simply got the fact of who won and who they beat the last two teams. I don't know not who beat who in the you know gauntlet aspect. Yes, unfortunately. Oh, that's a dreadful pun. How dare you? Yeah, you feel bad about what you just did, even if you did it unknowingly. You're forgiven on this occasion because it was unknowing. Are we casting ahead to what we're going to be talking about in a bit again? Oh, okay. Could it possibly be that the two, how can I put this, who've been in WWE the shortest, might want to depart again? Grant, okay, so Grand Metalik, I can understand wanting to leave. It's one of those things. But I honestly thought Lince Dorado would be the other one, but you're implying it's not, is it? It would be the two-time US champion. Interesting. Eh, well, if that becomes a developing story, we'll keep you informed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And yeah, they're far from alone in their thoughts potentially, but we'll cross that later. Anyway, so having beaten the Lucha House Party, the next team up for Rude and Captain Oversell were. Yes, a team who also potentially are not long for the company, if rumours are to be believed. Yeah, and moving on to the third team in the match to be faced, well, the third team for Rude and Captain Oversell to face, yes. Heavy machinery. Something tells me Captain Oversell had to do quite a lot, and they ended up not winning. Yep, yep. New Day, the current. No, they're not champions, are they? No, they are not the tag team champions. They are, however, um, a formidable tag team and was quite a what do you call it? Something I'd look forward to. These two teams throwing down. Not sure due to the format of the turmoil and everything that it quite lived up to expectations, but it was okay. Yes. Yes. The wonderfully devastating Z list. Yes. Potentially kayfabe thing that needs to be said here. Bo Dallas, shave off the beard. You look too much like your brother. Except when he isn't on the Firefly Funhouse. Anyway, yeah, the B team deserves slightly longer, perhaps, than that for going all the way there just for that brief moment in the spotlight, which meant that out next came the hashtag FTR, baby. Yep, figures. Yes. Top guys. And yeah, they beat the New Day. Did they not? Okay. Memory trick. Forgive me. So that puts New Day in contention for a SmackDown Tag Team title match. And wait, hang on, aren't New Day on Raw? No? Oh, I'm getting so confused with myself here. Which puts them in contention for a tag team title match then. Oh, well, there you go. That just highlights that, underlines it again. Yes, that isn't what you'd call sensible long term thinking on behalf of the booking department, but then This is WWE. Sometimes they do things that make you scratch your head and go, maybe that decision got lost in the shuffle. So yeah, the New Day beat the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Revival. I nearly said the New Day beat the New Day then. That would have been strange. And were rewarded with the next team to come out, who were El Club. Yes. Who proceeded to make short work of the New Day. Yes. Yes. Which, yeah. I didn't mention that, but that's why the combination of the Shatter Machine on Kofi after they've been eliminated and the fact that Gallows and Anderson were a fresh team meant that, yeah, that was only going one way, to be honest. And were rewarded with. Go on. Yeah, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Right, yeah. Eric Rowe and Ivar Hansen, to give them their full names. No, we all know that when they were in Ring of Honor, they were called the War Experience, and that it's copyrighted there. So there you go. Hint: none of that is true. So just take that with a pinch of salt. Cut perhaps shorter than we would have liked due to this way of the tag team turmoil match, but there you go. You can't have everything. I'll give you a clue. Not the tag team champions. Defeating the tag team champions and thus putting themselves in line, I would imagine, for a tag team title shot somewhere down the line. Cough, Survivor Series, cough. Has it already happened? Oh, God. Why can't WWE build suspense anymore? Ah, that's okay then. I see. I see. Why WWE still can't build suspense? Stop giving away title matches on free TV. Both sets of tag team champions were put down fairly easily by their respective challengers, which, yeah, well, yeah, okay, you got to build challenges up for them, but not, yes. I don't know, maybe the Vikings got sand in their eyes. I have no idea, in other words. Either way, the OC are the winners, setting them up for probably a future tag team title match next week on Raw. And so I sense there's an if coming here. What, the trophy that looks like it weighs about as much as Carl Anderson? Yeah, the massive. Yeah, like I said, it looks like it weighs about as much as Carl Anderson. It's not a small trophy. No, I'm just stating that the trophy's bloody enormous. That was the only point I was trying to make. We're talking like Stanley Cup proportions here, American sports fans. Borg Warner Trophy esque. Absolutely. At this stage, having just pushed them to the moon, I can't see the benefit of the Viking Raiders losing the championship just yet. But to have a genuine, viable pair of contenders there to go, we'll get you. We're just going to wait and do it on our own time. Is no bad. That was not a bad match, though. I've got to be honest. It did what it needed to do. It filled some time and it was very entertaining. What was predictable about it, apart from perhaps if you're a pedant, the result? Yeah, but it was a mighty fine match and pretty much I echo that sentiment. Cesaro versus Mansoor, which was frankly everything you really, really, really hoped it would be, but feared that it wouldn't live up to. And it did. And as a result, it was probably match of the night. Absolutely. No, no. So do I. And as a result of a one off match, that is exactly what it was supposed to do. It achieved that fantastically. He more than held his own against Cesaro, which was fantastic. And yeah, I want to see more of him. Although I do only have one complaint, and it is a minor one. But I want to know which one of the two culprits responsible made his ring gear. Was it Ray Charles or was it Stevie Wonder? Because he's obviously gone to the Zack Ryder school of atrocious ring gear. Oh no, he looked like a superstar. Don't get me wrong. It's just the sort of the color scheme he chose. I didn't think worked, but hey, he likes it clearly, and to each their own. It's just my personal call. I do, and I hope he's featured prominently on NXT. Well, I was going to say in 2020, but yeah, that too. But starting now and well into 2020, yeah. Yeah. Although everything he said in the promo after the match seemed to shoot that down. So I think he's the real deal, and like I say, I look forward to. He's currently an NXT superstar, so yeah, let's see him shoot for the moon there. Yeah, Absolutely. They absolutely have, and they should capitalize on it because that was a. Oh, he'd be in very high demand over here, definitely. Yeah, but if you only watch one match from that show, then make it that one. So are we glossing over the interlude where the other Singh brother won the 24/7 championship? Yeah, okay, moving on. Um, Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman had a wrestling match, which I thought was everything it needed to be. To be honest, he was a guy who is quite clearly very early in his wrestling training career path and who did the absolute best he could. And for that, you can't fault him. Yeah, yes, exactly. The thing that we're not going to go into that here, but yeah, I think the thing that got me was I read something and I'm struggling, scrabbling to find it now, and I can't. But apparently, during the match, he reenacted something from one of his boxing matches or something. Apparently, a recovery from what someone else thought was a knockdown punch. I hadn't seen that boxing match, so I was completely unaware that it was happening. But I thought, yes, I th- I wasn't aware that that was a rerun of what happened in a boxing match, but it was entertaining nonetheless. All right. Yeah, yeah, I get you. Yes, in a way that works really well in a wrestling context. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's quite a cool, but I'm surprised he got away with it because very British name for a sharp left hook. Well, as far as names for very basic moves and punches go, it's about 10 leagues above Weapon of Mass Destruction, anyway. No, I'm saying it's better. The name Weapon of Mass Destruction is awful. That's actually a good name for. Yeah, yeah, it was amazing. Yes. And yeah, we should just point out Tyson Fury won by countout. which I think was just about the safest way to secure that result. But I actually wouldn't either. I think there's more mileage in the feud with Braun Strowman. And beyond that, keep him in the performance center. If he keeps learning at the rate he is doing, his future's fairly bright in a sort of Brock Lesnar kind of sporadic appearances kind of way. Yes, you can make nearly as much money from WWE with so much less effort if you get a Brock Lesnar contract, that is. Yeah, exactly. Yes. That was an epic match. That was good. The next match was the United States Championship match. Humberto Carrillo. Bit short, bit sharp, but they did what they had to. Necessary. Was it not? Okay, I felt like they maybe could have had longer, but I was aware what they had to follow, what had to follow them, so they were, short for time. So, but they did everything they needed to, and well, that's true. He'd already had a match, so yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of know what you're saying. A couple of AJ's supposed to be a heel here. A couple of AJ taking his belt and going home, or you know, cheap shots behind the ref's back that he gets disqualified for wouldn't hurt AJ. He's a heel. That's what heels do. And Humberto Carrillo winning a couple of matches would also benefit him in the long run. But having said that, for what it was, the match was okay. Eh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. No, I know what you're saying, and it's kind of like I said, AJ using the club, walking away when he knows he's getting beaten, taking shortcuts and getting disqualified a few more times. He's a heel. He doesn't need to win every match clean. That's not what they do. You know? Yeah. Who had a lot of momentum going into that, and which was pretty much all just taken away again. Right. Yeah. We need to move on because we have this is taking ages, and we still haven't got to the bit that's going to take all the time. So, okay. Do you know what? I think I may divide opinion with this, which is mine and no one else's, and I'm not trying to claim otherwise. with my opinion for this. Yes, it was historic. Yes, it was groundbreaking. Yes, it was a first. My God, it was boring. Yeah, due to yeah, well, it was just they did the best they could in the incredibly limited circumstances they were given, and they were given. But and I think I'm surprised by one of the inclusions, maybe, but maybe it was two people who could be trusted not to let themselves get carried away. But the net result was, well, if that was the thing that made you know female matches a thing, it wasn't really encouraging them a great deal because I don't know. Maybe they wanted to set the bar low. I don't know, but they it felt like they did. That's what it felt like to me. I just live because I would just like to point out they all have access to the network, so they can all watch every women's match that's ever been, unless the network has some really specific content blocker in the Middle East. Really? Oof. Good luck to the person that had to write that content blocking algorithm. I hope they got paid a good Christmas bonus. Yeah. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I understand the historical significance of it and everything, and it was good that they did it. But it, you know, well, yeah, I can get that. I see. Oh no, it was. Yeah, any criticism about the quality of the match aside, it was something that needed to be done, and you know, credit to them for that. Let's just leave it at that. Well, that's the sort of cultural thing of where they are, isn't it? Which they were conforming to, which is, you know, oh yeah, I totally get that. No, yeah, I'm not arguing. It's like I say, it's a step in the right direction. So let's leave it there. Yeah, and move on to which was, oh dear, it was not an elimination match, and it was not particularly great. Well, yeah, yeah. Hmm. No, I just genuinely thought it was a colossal waste of basically the whole of Team Hogan and Shinsuke Nakamura, possibly Drew McIntyre. All guys that could be doing something so much more long lasting and important than that. No, yeah, yes. It could have gone either way, but as it is, the Team Hogan just, yeah, they won. They should have won. They had the guys to win, and yeah, it was what it was. The main event where the lights broke again. Yeah, which was, however, the only irritating thing about cough hint WWE the match Hell in a Cell should have been. WWE redeemed themselves like 3 weeks after the colossal cock up that was Hell in a Cell. Because, like I say, with the exception of the fact that they went everywhere because they could, which they wouldn't have been capable of in the cell. Pedants out there, I'm aware of this. This was the match that the stunt filled mass brawl that Hell in a Cell absolutely should have been, with the result that should have happened at Hell in a Cell as well. Yeah. Including Bray Wyatt being kicked into a big pile of electronics. I think it was basically on a par. I think it was just sort of like the same basic idea for the match, just slightly different stunts because they had more areas to play with outside of the confines of the cell, to be honest. Yes. Yeah. Yes, that was possibly moment of the night. Hello. Oh, look at this. Yes, and I was incredibly smug because I was right. Yes. And your winner and new Universal Champion, Bray Wyatt. Yes. You mean beyond the obvious that they've now officially and endorsedly and ongoing backingly let him in, so now he's got to change his catchphrase? Well, yes, we'll get to that when we discuss SmackDown in a bit, actually, because they're setting up the wheels of change in a way that will become clear when we talk about SmackDown. But we should just be pointed out for this half of the deal, Bray Wyatt is the, up until this point, Raw exclusive Universal Champion, despite being, as a part of the draft, a contracted SmackDown superstar. Like I say, more on that later when we discuss this week's SmackDown. But before we get to this week's SmackDown and the absolute pulling it out of the fire that WWE managed, we need to get to precisely why they were in the fire in the first place, which happened after Crown Jewel. Deary, deary, deary me. Yeah, 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 yes. The next night for the recording of Friday Night SmackDown. Now, there's been many rumors posted on the internet about this. Now, I assume you found a take on it as to exactly why, because I would just like to state that I am getting this from WrestlingInc.com and a post that was put onto their website yesterday, which is where this comes from. So this is not just me making stuff up. I'm getting this from WrestlingInc.com, who have said that a video was posted by former WWE Spanish announcer Hugo Savinovich, who currently works for AAA, stating that as far as he knew it, and he apparently has contacts in Saudi Arabia, WWE were owed millions of dollars for the shows that the company have held. Now, he states between 300 and 500 million, which seems excessive because WWE is estimated to generate between 40 and 50 million per event in Saudi Arabia, and they've only done 2 or possibly 3. But anyway, WWE were allegedly, according to Savinovich, owed millions of dollars for this, and as a result of that, Vince McMahon, in his usual way, retaliated by cutting off the Crown Jewel live TV feed in Saudi Arabia. For 40 to 45 minutes, it ended up being nearly an hour, which led to the Saudi Crown Prince being so upset that he basically ordered the talent to be taken off the plate. This is what Savinovich has said he has claimed this is not hearsay and that he heard it from someone with direct knowledge of the situation, according to the WrestlingInc.com website article. We don't know how true that is. We've just got to take their word for it. But basically, they withdrew the payment, so Vince McMahon childishly kicked back, and the Crown Prince kicked back at that in a game of tit for tat, one downmanship that basically made everyone look like an idiot. Essentially, it was a case of the Crown Prince and Vince McMahon dropped trousers and got their tape measure out, and nobody was the winner. Well, uh, so much so that the airline responsible for the flight also issued an apology. We don't know how much that was accurate or how much WWE asked them to do that. We can't speculate, but something doesn't add up there. Yes. Yeah, in fact, they've got a European tour starting next week, so they're constantly traveling. No. Now, and literally taking off half an hour to an hour later, as soon as they swapped all the baggage over. Exactly. I something doesn't add up here. But the thing that's got everyone frothing at the mouth about double standards and everything is possibly something that was out of Vince McMahon's control. We'll never know the facts. All we've got to go on is the speculation. But the fact that on his private jet, Vince McMahon and his inner circle left, and various superstars such as Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, and Hulk Hogan left on WWE's and Lesnar's respectively private jets before all this happened. Yeah, well, they were before, yeah, left on schedule before all this happened, which, you know, to me, the layman, implies they didn't know anything about it. Well, either way, it has created mass dissent in the locker room, and let's just put it this way: a lot of people who work for WWE who had to spend a day longer than planned in Saudi Arabia were very on social media and very not happy in the aftermath. Yes, they were ducking furious, as my iPhone would have it. Other phones and swear words, which are actual swear words, not corrections by predictive text, are available. Hmm. I am thinking that very possibly This is the sort of overreaction, the froth that the internet generates about everything like this, and that perhaps a lot of people are saying that. I'm fairly certain quite a lot of them will never go to Saudi Arabia again for WWE, because at the end of the day, if they all gang up and they all say, look, we're not doing it, they can't have a show there, because, if all the talent boycott, then there's nothing left to run a show with. But as for leaving the company, I'm going to put myself out on a limb there and say I'll believe it when I see it. Absolutely, it could. Feeling as though the company could have done more, yes. Yeah, to be honest, I thought we were going to go into that more and have more of a soapbox, but that pretty much covers it. So it's kind of like, yeah. Instead, let's focus on how WWE pulled it out of the fire. That might not be the best long-term plan, yeah, because um, yes, it is a little bit silly. Unless you're secure enough in the offer of another job that you can A, request a release, and B, have not annoyed management to the point that they'll deny it just to frustrate you. Well, indeed. No, exactly not. No. Although, if we just move on to positives quickly again, let's just focus on the positive aftermath of this instead. Um, yeah, there's literally not enough of them in the country to do a show. Uh, yes, you overestimate a couple of things. Well, three, in fact. Three things. Three letters. Yes. Which I think coped admirably in the circumstances. The makeshift SmackDown commentary team were initially Renee Young, Tom Phillips, and Aidan English, who was replaced fairly swiftly with precursor of things to come this, NXT's Pat McAfee. Who, I hear you ask? The guy with I was going to say irritating then, but distinctive voice who does the NXT pre-shows. I thought they did a fantastic job. I thought McAfee's enthusiasm was actually something that's been perhaps a little bit lacking on the commentary table just recently. He was obviously a little bit overawed by the situation and doing the best he could, but I thought his genuine, not completely jaded enthusiasm actually added to the product. And what they got to commentate on was essentially the SmackDown takeover by NXT. The hottest brand in sports entertainment, as proved by the whole 2 hours, which were amazing. Now, a couple of things went on as normal. One women's match in Saudi Arabia was pushing it, so Bayley and Nikki Cross weren't in for Crown Jewel, so they were able to go ahead and have a match as planned, which was pretty cool. But the rest of the show featured takeovers from the Black and Gold brand, with the explanation from a present Triple H and Shawn Michaels that fitted nicely into WWE storytelling as well, which was, we've seen the adverts for Survivor Series, we've seen, oh, now featuring NXT. Is it? No one bothered to tell us, but if you're going to give us an opportunity, we'll grab it with both hands. Yes. Yeah. Here's how they deal with it. Let's take what could potentially have been a crisis and run with it. And as I say, actually make one of the most entertaining episodes of SmackDown in a long time. And in the short run it's been on there, easily the most entertaining one since it moved back to Fridays and moved to Fox. And the NXT roster, were given the spotlight, took it, and to quote Renee Young, when a certain Matt Riddle did it, I can't believe he ran that fast in flip-flops. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the point is, I'm just trying to think from top to bottom. Shayna Baszler, Matt Riddle and Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, and who was the other guys? The other guys. I can't think of the last bits. The main event. Hang on, who was in the main event? For God's sake, I've got brain freeze. Yes, the main event. The man whose name I'm not going to say because you just add that stupid catchphrase on the end and it makes me glad I'm 200 miles away so I can't slap you in the face. Aha, I found a way of getting around it. It was a match for the NXT Championship between the incumbent champion and Daniel Bryan. So what? It's Adam Cole, did you say? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Shh, stop it. The result of that. Oh, watch the show from top to bottom. It was probably the best WWE wrestling show not put on by and with superstars exclusive to NXT all year. I say exclusive to because it had NXT superstars on it. But basically, what I'm saying is it's the best blue or red WWE show all year. And guess what? That was because 90% of it was from the yellow brand. Pat McAfee, yeah. Oh, yes. Can I also point out my sincerest apologies because I have briefly met her once. She won't remember it, but I do. I completely forgot about Tegan Knox and Rhea Ripley also making an appearance on the show. They did, yeah. Absolutely. Not looking even remotely out of place. Although, can I just say, I'm all for women's equality and all that, genuinely, but Tegan Knox, please stop using a choke slam. And also, if you're going to use it as your finisher. It's not it does not need to suffer the same fate as the super kick. It's not a mid-match transition move. It really isn't. Uh, no. I see. No, I was going to say I was merely upset because I forgot to mention her. I see. Oh, there you go. I do as well. And coming back from what many claimed would be a career-ending injury, not once but twice, she is the female Tommaso Ciampa. Yes. And what a way to pretty much announce the old WWE kind of thing. You want a war? We'll give you a war. And what a way to sell Survivor Series, which, hello, all of a sudden, I really, 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 really want to watch now. I think it's supposed to be all three, but um, no, that's not wrong. So yeah, I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's an interesting thing that they've potentially built themselves up for. And can I just also be the first to say as well, having watched this week's NXT, by the way, if you're not watching NXT yet, what is wrong with you? What rock do you live under? But seriously, having watched this week's NXT as well, momentous announcement on there as well. Hello. On the weekend of Survivor Series, which, by the way, shaping up to be the best WWE pay per view of the year, um, what will probably be, although to be fair, you could say that about every single one since they started doing them because there hasn't been a bad one yet, but looking like that run is not going to come to an end anytime soon. At the weekend of Survivor Series will be NXT War Games, featuring the first ever women's War Games match. Oh, I am looking forward to that so much. Because essentially, they finally on NXT, because I know there's always been, you know, 5 or 6 women at a time in the NXT women's division who are up there or thereabouts in the main event picture and so on, but they've now finally got 10 and they can do a War Games match and they're going to, and this being NXT, it's going to be a 5-star classic. Which it does make me beg the question, however, are they going to have 2 War Games matches? Because, what? Oh, yes. I thought it was fantastic. Just a quick question, non-spoiler, well, non-spoiler-ish question. Have they had a refit at Full Sail? Just the whole superstars slash William Regal suddenly going, oh, there's a balcony here. That'd be really good to cut promos on. After them being in the building for 5 years. You know, it's fantastic. No, it's great, but I just wish they'd done it 3 years ago. Yeah, yes. Um, Here's an idea, possibly for future reference. I don't know if they can do it, but commentary table up there? No? Okay. Fair enough. Well, no, it absolutely works. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great, but yeah. Yeah. Just get yourself on the WWE network. Come on. Watch NXT every week, but start with this week because, well, it's this week and it's epic. But yeah, so NXT was amazing. SmackDown NXT was amazing. Well, yeah, I was going to say start with this week, but then when you've done that and you're like, God, this is amazing, literally go back to like 2012 to the first episode when it was how it is now, but after they finished the whole pros and rookies thing and it became what it is now. It's 2012 and watch every episode, basically. You won't regret it. You really won't. But yeah, UKWA is still here, still going strong, and circumstances completely beyond anyone's control. And so we'll be back in February. Yeah. Ooh, that should be fun. For UKWA fans, yeah. But when the show comes back, trust us, it will be worth the wait. And bluer. Oh, sorry, no, I just got carried away with the alliteration. As you were. Yeah. And I'm going to say nothing more than this. I'm not even going to give away what it was. I'm just going to be incredibly cryptic here. But somewhere down the line in the future, you might see the realization of one of my ideas. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'll tell you about what it was after we've done the show when it happens, if it happens. Say no more. Plan for the future, absolutely. And so keep your eyes peeled on UKWA social media. You know, when you tear them away from Burning Truth social media for 5 minutes a day, that is. And we'll keep you posted. But trust us, it's going to be good. But two, yes, because we're going to wrap up here shortly. And spoiler alert, go away and immediately record the 5th anniversary special. Yay! Essentially, one or both of us will probably be either earning our living during our day job or doing some wrestling somewhere. So we won't both be free on the day, unfortunately. Yes. as a big thank you to you for listening and making it what it is, to be honest. Yeah, we don't actually know where it's going to go. We might have a topic in mind, we might not. As Mr. Matt Burns just said, the only way to find out is to tune in. Cool, cool. With that in mind, take a deep breath and away you go. You're welcome, RD. Absolutely not. Just check it out. Ooh, where have I heard that before? Indeed. Our very own UKWA commentator, Mr. Tom Baker. I see. Go on. Epic. because it's your one-stop shop for over 30 British wrestling promotions, with more being added all the time, and it's yours for just $3.99 a month. Yeah, that's less than £1 a week. Over 30 and growing all the time. Yes. Yeah, I know. It's fantastic. And the best part is, self-plug, if you go to turnbuckletv.com/UKWA and then hit join, available for your other favourite promo as well, if it isn't UKWA, the company in question, whoever it may be, gets money from that. So you are helping to keep your favourite local promotion going. Yes, exactly. Five, I believe so, yeah. I'm just trying to think. Falling Star, Future Shock, ICW, Hope, is that still a thing? Hope Wrestling? Um, yeah. Basically, check out your local wrestling, because wherever you go in the country, there's probably bound to be a wrestling company fairly close by. And if you're not sure, Slam Wrestling, of course. Oh, yes. You can find it on a website which lists all the UK promotions, and you can, I think, follow your favourite wrestlers on there as well. Oh, no. Oh, on an app. Oh, even better. Because guess what? That's not even $3.99 a month. That is free, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely free. And zilch, nada, nil, nothing at all. Bakshi, free. I'm padding and thinking as many words for it doesn't cost any money as I can, because I can't remember the name of it. Help me. What's it called? Yeah, no, that's what I was desperately struggling to try and remember. Thank you. Babyface Wrestling UK. Like we said, if yeah, go for it. I'm very much doubt I am, bearing in mind I'm simply a mere minion of UKWA and the commentator, but hey, if I am, wonders never cease. Indeed, where you can find old episodes and much more. Epic. Uh, and yeah, don't forget, if you think there's anything wrong, it's not wrong to speak out. Get the help you need. It's okay to be not okay. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Ta-ra for now.